You wake up every morning. You grind, you hustle, you stay late, wake up early, push harder than anyone else you know. And yet, you're still broke, still tired, still wondering, why isn't this working? We've been taught to worship the grind. Society tells us that if you work hard enough, success will eventually come. But what if that's a lie? What if the system was never designed to reward hard work? What if, as Nietzsche suggests, the very concept of hard work, or wealth is a myth used to control you? In this video, we're going to dismantle that belief. Through the lens of German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, we'll explore why the people who work the hardest often earn the least, and what that says about our values, our systems, and our very understanding of what it means to live well. Nietzsche didn't care for comfortable lies. He wasn't interested in helping people fit into the world. He wanted to wake them up. He believed most people live under illusions, blindly obeying social norms without ever questioning where those norms came from or who they serve. And few illusions are more powerful and more dangerous than the one that says, if you work hard, you will succeed. Nietzsche saw modern workers as slaves in a new kind of prison. Not physical chains, but mental ones. The grind culture of today would have horrified him. The idea of sacrificing your soul for a paycheck, for an illusion of security, for approval from a system that doesn't care about you, he would have called that spiritual decay. Why? Because Nietzsche didn't equate value with productivity. In fact, he believed that true strength comes not from doing more, but from knowing who you are, choosing your values and living by them, even if that means going against the crowd. So maybe the real question isn't, why am I not rich yet? Maybe it's, what am I working for and who benefits from it? Are you building your own life or someone else's empire? Nietzsche's philosophy isn't about being lazy or giving up. It's about waking up. It's about realizing that hard work is not sacred by itself. It must be aligned with truth, with purpose, with your will, not the will of the herd. In the next part, we'll dive into how Nietzsche viewed morality as a social weapon, and how the idea that working hard is good may not be a virtue at all, but a tool used to keep you compliant. So if you've ever felt like you're running faster but getting nowhere, stay with me. You're not broken. The system might be. What if morality isn't about right or wrong? What if it's about control? Friedrich Nietzsche believed that much of what we call moral values didn't come from wisdom or truth. They came from weakness, fear, and the desire to control others. Think about it. Who benefits from you believing that hard work is always good? That suffering is noble? That staying quiet and obedient is the right thing to do? Not you. Not the strong. Not the free. Nietzsche divided morality into two categories: slave morality and master morality. Slave morality is created by the weak. It praises humility, obedience, sacrifice, and suffering. It teaches people to stay in line, endure pain, and not question authority. Master morality, on the other hand, comes from the strong. It celebrates strength, power, independence, and self-definition. It's about creating your own values, not obeying someone else's. Now ask yourself, which morality is our society built on? If working long hours for little reward is considered virtuous, if poverty is praised as humble, if ambition is called greedy, then maybe we're still trapped in a system built on slave morality. You've heard it all your life. Work hard, don't complain. Good things will come. But Nietzsche would say, that's not morality, it's manipulation. He believed that those in power invented these ideas to keep others compliant. If you can convince someone that their suffering is noble, they won't rebel. If you teach people that being poor but obedient is righteous, they'll never challenge the structure. Hard work isn't wrong, but when it's used to replace critical thinking, or when it's used to justify exploitation, it becomes a lie. So what now? This doesn't mean you should quit your job or stop trying. It means you need to start asking deeper questions. Why am I doing this work? Who truly benefits from my labor? Am I building something for myself or just maintaining a system for others? If everything you've been taught is a lie, then who are you without it? When Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the overman or superman, he wasn't talking about a superhero. He was talking about a new kind of human, one who doesn't follow the herd, one who creates his own values, one who rises above guilt, shame, and false morality, and lives by his own truth. According to Nietzsche, most people live like cattle, following the same routines, obeying the same rules, worshiping the same shallow ideals, money, status, approval, and worst of all, they think this is normal. But the overman doesn't want normal. He doesn't accept a world where hard work means slavery, where blind obedience is called virtue, or where you're told to shrink so others feel comfortable. The overman is not defined by what others expect. He is defined by his will to power, his inner drive to shape reality, to create, to destroy, to rebuild on his own terms. What does this have to do with you? Everything. Because if you're watching this, it means you're starting to question. And that's the beginning of awakening. Maybe you're tired of the grind. Maybe you're sick of being told to just work harder. Maybe deep down, you know there has to be more. Good. That's where the overman begins. Not in strength, but in rebellion. Not by being better than others, but by breaking free from the need to be approved at all. So, what should you do now? You don't need to become superhuman overnight, but you do need to start choosing consciously. Start asking, what do I value? What do I want to build? Am I living by my truth or someone else's expectations? Right now, pause. Take out your phone, open a note, and write one sentence. My life is mine to define. That's it. Start there. And if you're bold enough, drop it in the comments. Let the world know you're done being a gear in someone else's machine. You're here to live awake. You wanted freedom, but somehow, your 9-to-5 became your 24/7 prison. Sound familiar? Maybe you started with dreams. Maybe you just wanted a little stability. But somewhere along the way, the job you took to build your life became the thing eating it alive. Friedrich Nietzsche warned us, a life without self-reflection leads to spiritual decay. He believed modern systems are designed to trap us, not with force, but with habit, with routine, with comfort. You don't need chains when you have deadlines. You work, you hustle, you burn out, and society calls it success. But what if success isn't about how much you earn? What if success is about how awake you are? According to Nietzsche, work without meaning is just another form of control. If you're not choosing your labor, if you're not aligning it with your own values, you're not working. You're being used. He believed that true power comes when work becomes an expression of your will, not a duty, not survival, but creation. If you're only working because you're afraid of falling behind, you're not free. If you're doing what you hate just to maintain an image, you're not free. If you're busy all the time but feel empty inside, that's not life. That's quiet desperation in a productivity mask. Nietzsche didn't say, stop working. He said, stop obeying blindly. Reclaim your time. Reclaim your energy. Reclaim your purpose. Ask yourself, is this work making me more me or less? Am I building my own future or just surviving another week? Pain is inevitable, but suffering without purpose, that's a waste of a soul. Nietzsche never promised comfort, he promised truth. And the truth is this, if you're going to suffer anyway, make it count. Nietzsche believed that pain was not the enemy. In fact, he saw it as essential to growth. He wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." But that strength doesn't come automatically. It comes when you transform pain, when you face it, understand it, and then use it to forge who you are. Most people run from pain. They numb it, deny it, escape it. But the Übermensch, he walks through it, awake. Because pain is the place where transformation begins. There's a difference between pain and pointless pain. Nietzsche warned about suffering that leads nowhere, like working yourself to exhaustion for someone else's dream, or staying silent in situations that crush your spirit. That kind of suffering breaks you, but suffering that's tied to a higher purpose, a mission, a truth, a self-defined goal, that kind builds you. The fire doesn't destroy you, it forges you. Nietzsche believed in the power of self-overcoming, not to become perfect, but to become more fully you. That means taking your pain and asking, what can I learn from this? What does this pain reveal about what I value? How can I use this to grow into who I want to be? You're not weak for struggling. You're not broken for hurting. You're human. And if you choose to face it instead of run, you just might come out of it unstoppable. What if the purpose of life isn't happiness? What if it's power? Not power over others, not control, not ego, but the deep, burning drive to shape your own destiny. That's what Nietzsche called the will to power. The will to power is not about domination. It's about creation. It's the internal force that pushes you to transform pain into purpose, to rise again after failure, to reject mediocrity, and to become the author of your own life. For Nietzsche, this wasn't just a concept, it was survival. A life without direction, without personal power, without the courage to shape your world, wasn't worth living. You've been told your job is to be good, to obey, to fit in. But Nietzsche would say, your job is to rise, to choose, to become. And that starts with power. Not borrowed power, not fake confidence, but a fire that comes from within. Most people live on autopilot, waiting for a sign, waiting for approval. But the will to power says, create your own permission. You don't need someone else to choose you. You don't need the system to validate you. You are your own force of becoming. It's messy, it's hard, it's real. So, how do you tap into it? You start by asking the right question, not what should I do, but what must I become? What am I willing to build, break, and bleed for? Power isn't given, it's claimed. Everyone wants comfort, but what if comfort is killing you? Not all at once, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly, softly. That's how comfort works. It doesn't punch you in the face, it rocks you to sleep. Nietzsche believed that the more we chase comfort, the more we give up our power. Because comfort makes you passive. It tells you everything's fine when it's not. It makes you tolerate mediocrity. It makes you settle. And worst of all, it kills the fire inside you. You can't grow in your comfort zone. You can't evolve if nothing challenges you. Nietzsche argued that discomfort, pain, uncertainty, struggle is the forge of the soul. It's the space where you burn away the illusions, where you confront yourself, and where you come out stronger. The Übermensch doesn't seek comfort. He seeks challenge because he knows. A life of ease is a slow death. Feeling uncomfortable? Good. That means you're alive. That means you're moving. Comfort isn't safety. It's sedation. Real safety comes from resilience, from learning to sit with fear, to walk through the fire and still move forward. Do something this week that makes you uncomfortable. Speak your truth. Take the risk. Have the hard conversation. Say no where you've always said yes. Don't run from the discomfort. Walk straight into it. If life has no meaning, why get up in the morning? Why keep working? Why keep struggling? Why not just quit? That's the dark hole called nihilism, the belief that nothing matters, that life has no purpose. And Nietzsche? He didn't deny it. He faced it head on. Nietzsche declared, "God is dead." What he meant was this: the old stories, religion, tradition, morality, they're no longer enough. They don't hold weight like they used to. We've evolved beyond them. But here's the problem. When the old meanings collapse, a vacuum forms. And that vacuum can lead to despair, a sense of emptiness, a loss of direction. That's nihilism. And Nietzsche knew it would destroy the masses, unless they did something radical. Nietzsche didn't believe life comes with meaning. He believed we must create it. It's not written in the sky. It's something you carve with your choices, your values, your actions. Your job isn't to discover your purpose. Your job is to build it. That's terrifying. But it's also ultimate freedom. No one is coming to save you. No script is waiting for you. You are the author now. Nihilism is a door, not a dead end. Most people fall into it and never come back. But the Übermensch? He walks through it and comes out stronger. Why? Because he takes responsibility for meaning itself. He doesn't ask, "What is the point?" He asks, "What can I make this life mean?" You were not born to obey. You were not made to fit in. You are here to become. All this time you've been told who to be. What's good? What's bad? What's realistic? What's acceptable? But Nietzsche's final message is simple. Break it all. Start again. Make yourself. You are not a product of your job, not your trauma, not your past. You are the artist of your own existence. If the world feels meaningless, that's not the end of the story. That's your blank canvas. Every choice you make is a brushstroke. Every value you claim is a color. Every action you take is a line of poetry. No more waiting, no more blaming, no more hiding. This is where you stop being a passenger in your own life and take the wheel. The overman isn't born. He's built, choice by choice, moment by moment, fire by fire. He doesn't look for permission. He doesn't chase validation. He creates meaning from his struggle. He transforms pain into art. He defines himself, not once, but every single day. And you can too. Right now, ask yourself, what lie am I still living under? What story am I ready to rewrite? What kind of person do I want to become, starting today? Then say it, write it, act on it. Because Nietzsche didn't want followers. He wanted fire starters. Be one. This is not the end. This is the first step. Don't just live the life you were given. Create the life only you can live.